What's going on, guys? In today's YouTube video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can leverage artificial intelligence to help out with your sports betting predictions. Now, unfortunately, when I see most people make content or some type of video about artificial intelligence, they're either trying to sell you their trash software product or they're trying to sell you some type of course. And they don't actually show you how you can leverage AI to, help out with your sports betting, help out with your predictions. Now, I'm not offering any type of betting or gambling advice. I'm not guaranteeing you any type of results. I'm just literally going to be showing you guys how you can leverage AI like ChatGPT to help out and hopefully make you some money. Now, I have been working on an advanced ChatGPT bot that I made myself over the past couple of weeks, and I tested it out on the Max Holloway Dustin Poirier UFC 318 card. And the results, I'll let them speak for themselves, but if you guys want to be able to follow along and to get the results and see what actually happened, make sure you stay towards the end of the video, because it made me a lot of money. Alright guys, so basically what we're going to be using for this video is just ChatGPT. I'm not too sure if it works for the free version or any other versions, but the model that I will be using is the ChatGPT o3 Advanced Reasoning model. Now, the reason that I'm using this specific ChatGPT model is because it's great for doing super intricate research tasks, right? ChatGPT 4 or other models of ChatGPT are great for other things, but when it comes to, things like this where it has to do a lot of research, a lot of insight, ChatGPT o3, right? Obviously, the premium version has this bot for you. It's going to be the best way to go. You're going to get the best results using this version of ChatGPT. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video, and I will show you guys exactly how the results went using my ChatGPT bot. Alright guys, so I'm taking you over to the laptop right now. As you can see, this is the entire prompt that I've been working on and tweaking for the past couple of weeks now. And so what we're going to be using here is a website called fightodds.io. And fightodds.io is essentially just a website that shows you every single, sports book that offers these odds for the fights, all of the different cards and events. And so what I did was I just screenshotted that, the fightodds.io screen, as you can see right here. And these were all of the odds for UFC 318, Max, Dustin, Paulo Costa, Kopylov, Kevin Holland, and Daniel Rodriguez. These were the three main fights that I wanted to focus on making money and betting on, because obviously those three were probably the fan favorites and the most exciting. So I'm obviously not going to read this entire prompt for you guys because it would take forever, but what I will do is I'll leave this entire thing in the description. All you have to do is go check it and you can use it for yourself. But what I did was I said, when I send you a slate of MMA matchups with the current betting odds, please perform a 5-layer evaluation for each fight, right? And as you can see in this screenshot here, every single fight on the card was listed, so ChatGPT had a lot of work to do. And you kind of know it's a good prompt when ChatGPT takes like 5 to 10 minutes to think and respond. So the first one that I asked it was a resume and strength of schedule check. Number 2 was a technical and physical matchup. Number 3 was the form, health, and camp intel. 4, venue and macro context. And 5, the betting market and probability edge. Now, number 5 is a very important one that I added in there, specifically just so this response doesn't only include the favorites, right? The sportsbook favorites, minus 500 odds, minus 600 odds. I wanted it to specifically calculate if there was any edge across the sportsbooks, if there was any value to where it would be a good idea to take the underdog, or if the underdog had enough value, when all of the stats match up, all of the numbers match up, and ChatGPT would give me or pick the underdog prop in its response. So after I pressed enter and submitted a screenshot of all of the odds, ChatGPT thought for 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, another reason why I love this ChatGPT model is because it literally goes and shows you what it's thinking, what it's analyzing from your prompt. So, as you can see, it shows you all of its thought processes here. I'm not going to go through all of this now. I'm going to close this right here, but this is the original table that it gave me. Now, I want you to stay with me here because as I go through this video, I continue to ask ChatGPT more things to give me a more accurate response. But this was the first original table that it gave me. Now, as you can see, the moneyline pick for Holloway versus Poirier was Dustin Poirier at plus 120 with a 6 out of 10 confidence. Now, going down, we had Paulo Costa, which is the underdog, plus 187 at a 5 out of 10 confidence. And interesting enough, they didn't give me a pick for Holland versus Rodriguez. I don't know why, but they gave me the under total rounds pick instead. Now, throughout this table, right, I asked it to give me a confidence scale from 1 to 10 and then a one-line explanation. Scrolling down, it also gave me a bunch of extra notes as to why it chose what it chose. But with the 5 confidence level and the 6 confidence levels, I wasn't really too satisfied with the results that Chat gave me. So I took this one step further, and what I did was I said, are you able to compile a list of statistics for each fighter? Now, I'm going to explain why I did this in a second, but basically what I wanted ChatGPT to do was just give me pure raw statistics, pure numbers for each fighter, and it took a while because there's a lot of fighters, so it thought for 4 minutes again, and it gave me this table from the main card, from statistics, for literally every fighter. As you can see, there's age, hit, reach, stance, SLPM, SAPM, TD average, TD defensive percentage, sub average, all of these different stats compiled into a table for every single fighter. And what I did was I asked ChatGPT, I said, can you compile this into a CSV file? Now this is kind of where it gets interesting, because what a CSV file is basically just like a spreadsheet or a table that I can actually put back into ChatGPT and use it for a more accurate response. So again, all of this code that you see, ChatGPT was thinking. It took a very long time. Glitched a little bit because I don't think my laptop had enough power to process all of those stats at once, but we ended up getting it. And scrolling down a little bit more, as you can see, I asked ChatGPT, where did I put it? Okay, so right here, it says download the CSV. I downloaded the file, and I said, can you use this CSV file to make more accurate predictions from the table above? So again, ChatGPT does its thing. We waited a little bit, and the results were completely different than the first table. Now, I was a little bit skeptical at first as to why the results changed so drastically and why the confidence levels changed so drastically. But if you watch this card and you already know the results of the fights, you can kind of see how crazy accurate this table became. With the Holloway-Poirier pick changing from Dustin to Max with a 10 out of 10 confidence scale, Costa and Kopylov keeping Costa as the pick with a 10 out of 10 confidence, and the crazy one was Kevin Holland versus Rodriguez. Changed from Holland to Rodriguez at plus 371 underdog odds. That means for every $100 you bet, you get $371 back. That's how much no one expected this guy to win. I remember going on Instagram literally the next day, and all of my friends were complaining that they had money or Kevin Holland ruined their parlay. Right? I don't remember what the exact odds for him to win was, but I know it was a pretty heavy favorite towards him winning. And as you can see, this table gave me a 10 out of 10 confidence for Rodriguez at plus 371. Now, all of the rest of these fighters, I obviously you can pause the video here and look at the stats, but I was mainly just interested in the top 3 10 out of 10 confidence levels. And because this took me like literally by surprise, what I did was I asked ChatGPT, I said, can you use both the original prompt that I gave you and the CSV file, all of the statistics, right, to make into one final table? I just wanted to make sure that ChatGPT wasn't bugging, that, all of these results were its final answer. And I said, with all of these predictions and confidence level, give me a final table, right? So again, we're scrolling down here, and the final table is here. I'm going to open this, and as you can see, yes, indeed, it was the final answer. So I'm going to go back here and minimize this again and show you. So as you can see, this final table here, I asked ChatGPT what changed and why, just to make sure everything was accurate. And indeed, everything was, the final answer. So it was crazy accurate. Like I mentioned, if you watch this card and you saw the fights, right, everything that this ChatGPT table gave me, all of its reasonings, was literally how these fighters won the fight. And, bad on my end, I didn't have too much faith in my own AI model, and I didn't include Rodriguez in my final parlay. All I did was I put, I think, $250 on Max and Costa to win when Costa was still an underdog. I believe everyone had Kopylov winning as well. I'm scrolling through social media. I commented on like a UFC post that there's no way Paulo Costa is losing to Kopylov, and everyone was responding like, nah, you're tripping, like this dude is going to destroy him, he looks washed, whatever. Matter of fact, he ended up winning, right? So I think it was like a plus 381 odds parlay or something, turned 250 into 1250, so I won like $1,000 off a 2-leg parlay, which is kind of crazy, considering the fact, I wasn't even going to bet on Kopylov or Costa or any of these other dudes. I was literally just trying to watch the fight for Dustin and Max. So we won $1,000 off of this parlay right here on the screen, and I sent that out for free in the Discord and everything like that. But if I put Rodriguez in there with a plus 371 underdog pick, that would have been a lot more money. And it's almost scary, again, I know I keep saying it, but how accurate this card really was using the prompt, right? So again, I'm not guaranteeing you guys that every single time this table is going to be 100% accurate, that you're going to get all of these good results and you're going to make so much money using AI. All I'm doing is showing you a way to leverage artificial intelligence and get, some type of usage out of your ChatGPT subscription to help you, with your research process that otherwise you probably wouldn't have even looked at some of these stats. You probably didn't even know some of these statistics existed. And it just shows you a purely data-driven perspective on, the UFC cards and the predictions, right? So yeah, I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to make a ton of money from this, but it helped me make a ton of money from this previous card. And we were watching the fights with all of our friends, and it was just crazy because I had everyone submit the parlay as well. So we all won a ton of money that night using my ChatGPT model. And like I mentioned, if you want access to this, all you need to do is click the description. It's there completely free. You can just copy and paste it. And so now I will be using this model for every single UFC card, and hopefully it can continue to cash us out and make a ton of money. Alright guys, and that's how I personally leverage artificial intelligence to my personal gain, to my personal benefit when it comes to helping out with my sports betting predictions, my sports bets, and all of these different things. Right? I have a bunch of other AI prompts. I posted a video about baseball for an MLB AI bot as well. If you want to see any other sports, any other leagues, any other markets using artificial intelligence, make sure to leave a comment down below what you want to see next. Like this video, it really helps a lot, and subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification bells on for more educational sports betting content like this. And with that being said, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.